Buddha, Muhammad, Krishna, and the multidimensional reality. What is the soul? And always, all that is. The belief in reincarnation was a revelation for me. I lived many lives in many bodies of many colors. All men are my people, and all people are my brethren. My reincarnations, my incarnations were experienced for the soul, and it was my choice to be born and live in this body now. My mother and I would my mother and I desperately wanted to find meaning in a sick, crying, and sad world. How could we find a cure for ourselves and a dying planet, a sick planet? We teach what we need to learn, I was told, many, many times as I was growing up. Years after my mother would become a teacher, student of yoga, meditation, and relaxation instructor. This was utopia for a time. For a time in the evenings, our house would be filled with vibrations of New Age philosophers, truth seekers, truth speakers, travelers, teachers, preachers, reachers into the unknown. And I was there. And this is where we gathered, asking the questions, who am I? Why am I here? How can I make a difference? And what happens after I leave? What's out there? Of course, more than 50 years later, things are very different, but things are very, very the same. Mm-hmm. I know you have to have questions for me.
So how do you compare today, what's happening today, to what was going on back then? What is the difference between the two?
I think the approach are different. I think people are being aware. A lot of times when we're aware and we don't know where to go with that awareness, so we go to suppress what we're feeling, and it may feel like fear, so we'll get something to drink, we'll get something to smoke, we get something to lay with, someone to lay with. So we try to cover up the feelings that we have with something outside ourselves. Today, we don't do that the same way because there's so many people speaking out. I think being connected all around the world helps also. You don't have to feel as lonely anymore, or like you're really, really weird. This is our natural state of being. We are spirit first and foremost before we come in physical form. That's first and foremost. Then we are human. Mm-hmm. So I think we forget that sometimes. So when we're feeling the spirit and being a part of feeling spiritual things, having that spiritual awareness, that is who and what we truly are. Now, trying to learn to be divorced from that, distant to that, is where all the problems come in. Because you cannot be something you are not.
Mm-hmm. Do you find it challenging to really listen when Spirit is speaking? A lot of us are not listening when Spirit is speaking to us because Spirit is whispering. It doesn't speak in loud voices. Sometimes we miss the point or the direction or the gift that's being given.
Yeah, it's funny because people are looking and looking and looking and looking, and sometimes that person right next to you, the person you would never ever think to be sent by Spirit, and that person doesn't even know they were sent by Spirit. But our teachers come in all forms.
Exactly.
So if they're around and they're saying something that kind of like it kind of like bothers you, it's a reason that bothers you.
Yes.
So we're here for growth and the final and full development of spirit. There's nothing constant but change. So in our confusion or in our delusion, we've come to believe that this is all that there is and this is all that we are. So we become greedy, we become selfish,
Yes.
we become very egotistical, and things that mattered are material things.
Yes.
But we used to be calm, we used to be kind, we used to be polite. Especially young people to older people.
Yes.
And it's how we look at things now. It's always been for me, since perhaps because I had the teachers that I had that
Yes.
were older than me.
Yes.
But it's always been for me that it has always been that the older people were to be honored because they were closer to spirit. They could hear, they could feel. They were going back to where we all came from. They were to be respected. And they had a role here in their wisdom. So when I looked at my belief system, and as I was growing up and even growing older myself, I saw wisdom. I didn't see anything other than wisdom. So if someone was to ask me, so what did you think that growing old was about? It's about being wise.
Exactly.
And we talk a lot about tribes, and it takes a village to raise a child, but that village has to be well.
Exactly.
If you give a child into a sick village, you're going to get a bunch of sick children.
Exactly.
So at some point, we have to keep it real.
Yes.
There's a responsibility with being woke, with being a star child.
Yes.
There's a responsibility there.
Yeah.
We have jobs. There are ancient and sacred contracts we come here to fulfill.
Yes.
From our antiquity, we're connected with one another.
Yes.
So that we can understand the things we came to learn.
Exactly.
So that we can remember what those things are.
Yes.
So we have purpose here.
Yes, we do. We have divine purpose. And a lot of us don't understand what our divine purpose is. And that was beautifully put. So as we go along with our questions, we're going to end this one now. So then we're going to go with question 2 at a later time. So I want to thank you for joining us. I would like you to remember, thumbs up and subscribe if any of this beautiful information that has been shared with Sifu by Sifu Ken, that you can please give us a thumbs up and subscribe.
I have one more parting word before I go. This is a very important time, because what we bring inside our temples, our bodies, inhaling, and what we release as an exhale, the words are very powerful. Very powerful. We send out blessings, or we send out lessons. We send out energy, frequency, and vibration each time we exhale. So what are we sending? What are we saying? If we're truly woke, how's it working for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
How is it working for you?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a billionaire or a millionaire. I'm talking about how's life and around you working for
Life
you.
in general.
You have responsibility. It's to take that gift and share that gift.
Yes.
See, I had an excuse because there wasn't a name for it. Everybody wasn't aware of it. Now we are. What's my excuse? What's the excuse? There is none. There's work to be done.
Yes,
And we all know that.
And it's a collective.
Yes.
All of us together. Take all of us together in order to get the job done.
Yeah. I could stay being mad at something or someone.
Yes.
Or I could use that energy and projecting. You know, your affirmations are beautiful because it is internal dialogue that's what's important. What are you saying to yourself?
Exactly.
And not only what are you saying to yourself, what are you saying to the universe?
Exactly.
Are you really, really, really sending peace to yourself, to your neighborhood, to across the world where it might need it most?
Yes.
So we can try to fake the funk and say anything, but the energy that we release doesn't lie. It doesn't lie. So we're here to do the work. And you're doing the work whether you believe this stuff or not.
Exactly.
You're releasing energy.
Yes.
You're letting something go.
Exactly.
Okay, so peace to everyone. Affirmations are the quickest and fastest way for you to get balanced and in line.
Exactly.
Meditation is listening to what Spirit has to say. And prayer is talking.
Yes.
So be still and listen sometimes before we start talking.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
And thank you.
And I'll see you soon.
Very soon. Thank you for listening again to Sifu Kenny. It was a delightful time spending time with him. And as I said before, if any of this resonated with you, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe so we can continue to make more content just like this. So this was interview 1. There will be an interview 2. Have a beautiful, divine, peaceful, wonderful, loving day. So be it.